Just to take that, I say, how would you be if you were 14 and I gave you an obscene amount of that you were the father of your house and you had no, how would you do it? You're either going to be, no, think about it. You're either going to be home alone or you're going to take care or you're not at home at all. You just go,
Trey,
Yeah.
I uh, I think the intro speaks for itself.
Yeah. So you gonna roll with us?
Well, let's get.
I can't. Why not? Oh, the police is after you, huh?
Nah, I'm on punishment. My mom says I can't leave the porch.
Oh, man. Come on, let's hold the porch down.
What's up with this now? We holding the porch down. Talking about just how reality's turned out. We ain't finished, ain't even finna be for a minute. Everybody's playing games. What's up then? Let's have a scrimmage. Gotta unify the cooler guys with you and nows you must discuss. Truth and lies, eulogize the proof in time what makes us us. Ain't no way to be bored now. Come on, we off the porch now.
Trey,
Huh?
it's been 0 days since you ruined the intro.
I
It's,
stopped myself. I
you,
stopped myself.
okay, yeah, I'll give you that one.
Half a
I will
point.
give you that one.
Half
Hold
a
on, let
point.
me so, switch this over.
You know what?
Here we go. Yeah, brother. I
What
said
up, man?
I said the intro speaks for
I
itself because
said, and I was just about to say, well, shit, let's get it then.
yeah, we talk about movies today.
And just like the movies, we play out
On
our
the
last.
last
Yeah,
scene.
they ain't ready for that. They ain't ready for that.
First of all, how's your mental health today? This week?
All over the place. Um, good. The good outweighs the bad. Let's just put it that way.
Okay. Okay.
The good outweighs the bad.
So we having a positive week.
And
That's good.
yourself?
Uh, I'm there. I made my well, I talked to my psychiatrist, and then I made a therapy appointment today. So you know,
There you go. There you go.
you
Yeah.
know the outfit is inspired by my grandma's house.
I feel like that's something that Wayne Wonder would wear when he sang his one song on the
Yeah.
stage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't let it know, no, oh, when I,
Oh, yeah.
because you
Because
are
you are
my
my
lady.
lady. My outfit is inspired by an art show. I'm in
Yeah,
between. I had to pull up and then come back. We filming the podcast, and I'm going back.
yeah. That's a working man
Yeah.
right there. That's a working
Yeah.
man. Working on
Shh.
working on your
Yeah.
craft. That's working at your craft and making that a career. You know.
As long as you don't put another 3 letters in front of that craft, we good.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm working at it though, man. My kids got to see me do something more than just go to clock in, man. It's actually a super dope feeling being out there, kind of breaking some barriers for myself. So,
That's
shouts out to
good.
me.
That's
Shouts out to
good.
me.
Hey, shouts out to you, brother. You putting yourself out there, getting your art out there, getting your talent out there.
Yup.
That's what we're made to do. We're born to do.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of art
Yup.
and talent, let's talk about these talented actors and uh, producers and directors and stage
Mm-hmm.
hands and production
Mm-hmm.
assistants and stunt men.
Because there's so many. A part of my artistic craft is movies, dog. Like even I go off the movie covers and stuff. A lot of that of my artwork is just posted off of the type of movie covers, or that's how I set up a scene to do a painting. Is most of them are by the dude that did the Star Wars joints and the Jones.
George Lucas.
No, that's the producer,
Oh,
but
you're talking about
the
the
poster
artist.
artist, I
Uh,
forget. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank right now, but he cold.
yeah,
He cold.
I like
So
that. I like
yeah,
that.
Drew Struzan. That's it. Drew Struzan.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I do.
Yep.
Well, you know me in movies because obviously my goal is to be a producer at some point
Mm-hmm.
and produce something bigger than just a podcast.
Well,
But
look at you working on your resume, though.
exactly,
Shouts out
and
to you. Yep.
you know, but a lot of my inspiration comes from movies and just the technical side of making film is what I focus on nowadays, as opposed to when I was younger, just focusing on the action and adventure of the movie and stuff like that. So yeah, that for me, a lot of it goes to the structure of a movie or the lighting and the
Mhm.
story that's being told and
Yep.
all the factors of the movie come into play with me, and especially because my thing, like the last couple years I really been getting into like practical effects
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
looking
Fun,
down.
ain't it?
Yeah, it's crazy, and
Yep.
seeing how much these people work with the with CGI and seeing the behind the scenes for CGI and stuff like that, man.
I never saw the behind the scenes for CGI, but I did do like just tracking for small commercials and stuff when I did my internship,
Mm-hmm.
and just those after using After Effects and stuff like that. I was like, oh, that started making me want. I used to want to do title sequences. I
Yeah,
made a cold one in Flash in school to the
yes.
Warriors. The ending credits of the Warriors. I made a new one. I wish I could find the file. It might be on one of my flash drive somewhere, but I said flash drives like I am old.
Yeah,
I'm
I
old.
watch
It's in the cloud. Fuck y'all, man.
I watch there's a YouTube channel called Corridor Crew, and
Mm-hmm.
they react to like special effects from like all types of different movies. I was talking like back in the 60s, 70s to now and stuff like that. So I just been watching a lot of that and just soaking in how they do some of that stuff. And it
Yeah.
is some of
Yeah.
it is the boy. There was one movie where they had like it was all practical effects, and they had like a tin can robot, and they had a dude that had to like sit in it like it was like an egg, and he had to control it. He had two controllers for the legs because it didn't have no hands.
That
Like,
got too that part of it got way too technical for me,
yeah,
man.
like it's
To have to track that kind of stuff and put it all together, I was like, nah, let me just sculpt some stuff and I'll be all right. I'll make some
yeah.
steel models and y'all can make them work and do all that other kind of stuff. But yeah. So, but the movies. What's some of the movies that like shaped your life dash environment? Some of your early joints.
Oh boy. Let's see. Let's get this out the way real quick. My favorite movie of all times is 13 Ghosts. Don't
Shut
say
up.
listen. 13 Ghosts is my all-time favorite movie. I don't want to hear it from anybody. I don't nothing. 13 Ghosts is a perfect movie, and Rod Digger will live forever.
Cause
She
she's the
acting her
forgotten black
ass
person that
off.
lives at the end of the
You
movie.
goddamn
She
right.
lived.
Yeah.
She lived. Everybody talk about LL Cool J. Don't nobody say shit about Rod Digger.
Yeah.
And her horror movie was better.
Yes.
Like as far as a horror movie goes, way better
As
than
far
Deep Blue
as
Sea.
bro, as far as a complete
Man,
horror movie, it was the whole entire movie was complete from beginning to end, and then they had like I had the box DVD, and it had like all the lore
mhm.
for every ghost, and every ghost had like this little like a 5 minute
Oh
fucking
yeah,
thing. Boy,
yeah.
buck stops here. That was my all
Oh.
time. So, and looking back now, I got to see like the behind the scenes for like the special effects and stuff. It is so cool because the place that some of that stuff was shot at, the so where
What?
Rooster Teeth is an old
Oh,
airport
okay.
hangar, and a lot of older like 2000s movies and stuff like Spy Kids and
hmm
stuff got
hmm
shot in there, and one of the movies that got shot there, 13 Ghosts. Uh,
13 Ghosts.
yeah,
Okay, okay. That's what's up. My all-time favorite movie is Juice.
I can see it.
It might be a little cliche. It's a little
Uh,
cliche. It's my favorite. I remember watching it with my daddy. Uh, I think it was one of the first times that like my daddy sat and let me watch a grown-up movie with him.
mm-hmm.
And to watch Tupac go crazy, and I was kind of hearing him commentate about what a gun can do to you. I guess I didn't listen at some points, but high school. But that movie, like Pac did his thing. Of course, I'm a Pac fan. I'm not a super Pac fan, but I'm a Pac fan.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as like him being an artist, he covered a lot of bases, and you got to respect that. You got to put some respect on that. But just my thing was to see somebody go gun crazy like that,
Mm-hmm.
and it was some little young black fellas just trying to figure it out,
Speaking of
and it was
that,
a lot of hip hop in it. It was just
so
dope to me.
uh, speaking of Juice, uh, to would I put it with because the definition of black exploitation films is the cast is predominantly black,
hmm
and then it usually touches on topics of like sex, crime, and stuff like that, and
hmm
so I
hmm
think I would put Juice in my black exploitation films,
I guess we
but
could call it black
also
exploitation.
like The Last Dragon is in there. The Last
Hella, if
Dragon
that,
is in there.
I mean, if you put it that broad, I always thought about black exploitation as like that era of like your
Yeah,
Dolomites and
Dolomites,
your
and that's what it started as.
Superflies and all that. Like that's like prime black exploitation, but I guess like kind of
And
flowing
then
over into that
right,
point in time. Yeah, it's the same shit.
and then it turned into like Juice, and then Django is considered a black
That's
exploitation.
my
Uh,
shit. Yeah,
um, they
and
clone
see shit
Tyrone.
out of this thing, huh?
They clone Tyrone. That's a black
That's
that
my
is
shit.
yes.
I,
So yeah,
yup,
I think I
yup.
put it in there.
So is black exploitation racist?
No. Mm-mm. because it's usually done by black producers.
So when you think about the term exploitation, what it seems negative.
So I think originally it was so I think it was originally called that because of the original like Sambo, and
Hmm.
it's like a play on that. So
Hmm.
it was like kind of like us saying nigga.
I got you. I got you. Yeah. I shoot. I think most of my, well, no, not most of my favorites, but a lot of my favorites, boys. Well, Boys in the Hood probably ain't my favorites, but it's one of the. A lot of my favorites is one of them. Just them ones. It's kind of mainstream, but Menace to Society ain't one of my favorites. But I enjoy watching it. But those Fresh, that's one of my favorites also.
Yes,
Um,
that is a real
to
good one.
watch to watch that young man devise that plan at such a young age and put them grown men away,
Hmm.
man,
Uh,
inspirational.
I think
And then when he played a game of chess with his daddy at the end,
yeah.
inspirational. Yeah,
Uh,
I
I
didn't even think about
think
it like that.
uh two of my favorite movies involve my one of my all-time favorite actresses. Her name is Michelle Yao. You know what the
Okay,
two movies are?
what was your first one again? Oh,
Uh,
13. Wait, no, what?
no,
Because I'm not familiar with Michelle Yao.
uh the first one is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I still need to go to get all the way through that. In my old age, I can't
It's
sit through too many
so good.
movies without falling asleep.
So good.
I know.
The
I know.
second
I
one,
believe it. I heard it was amazing. And from what I was seeing, I enjoyed it a lot. But getting up, sitting down, doing all that kind of stuff, I've been missing
nah,
out a
yeah,
lot. If I don't
like
go to the theater,
we like
I'm old.
we're in an age now where like people don't like going to the theater anymore
I love going to the theaters.
because
One of my favorite
because
things ever.
well, you can get it right in your house.
Nah, fuck all that. Nah, give me the atmosphere. I am an atmosphere person.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna buy none of the snacks because I got my pockets full of the dollar store candy.
Right.
Cause Dollar Tree right around the corner. I'm famous for it. Like Granddad on Boondocks.
Yeah.
That's me going to the movies. I'm not.
I saw somebody do I saw somebody do a thing TikTok where they saw what they could get into the
I
movies.
saw that, and
Yeah.
bro bought the cereal.
Yeah.
He had.
The whole bowl.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, I know, but they got to find a better way to make some money, dog. Like having a restaurant and a bar in the movie theater is a way better idea than selling me a $7 box of Mike and Ike's.
so that's why I like fucking in Texas they have the Alamo Draft House. Oh, baby. Fucking yeah, first of all, you can rent out the whole entire movie theater.
You can do that pretty much everywhere if you didn't know.
Really? But the way that the seats are set up, like it's like full table space in between like you and the next row, and they just come through, they get your order and everything, and they very quiet about it, and they
Mm-hmm.
your food come, you have a whole meal during the movie. They got
Mm-hmm.
like craft beers and all that stuff, so
No, that's what
it's
it needs to be. Like, give it more of an experience because if you really just that hard out on business, like the way that like people was mad about the movie theaters during COVID and stuff,
mm-hmm.
when we started figuring out how much they was really like having to charge for the candy and stuff, it's like, dog, mm, create the experience for the person in a different way. Like I said, that $25 popcorn and dog, come
Right.
on, man,
Yeah.
come on,
Did
man.
you uh did you send a whatchamacallit notification or blah 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 or post about the
I
whatchamacallit?
did,
Oh, okay.
I did.
Anyways,
Ooh, did I press send? Is the
that's
question. I did. Oh shit.
uh
Yep.
Yeah, Michelle. Yeah, everything, all, everywhere, all at once. But you
Now is
do,
that the older lady?
yes, you do
Okay.
know who she is, because
I know who she is.
another other favorite of mine is Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Okay.
That's who it is. Yeah,
Man, I love kung fu movies.
I do too.
Like the genre, just the way it all start. Man, just even the Wu Tang stuff. I done went back and watched and like, man, as far as cinematically, but shit that they're putting it on TV, there's I fucks with it
Yeah,
because I also watch movies like Kung Pao.
I.
So when it comes to like using your imagination and make sure you know, and it's like more of a movie than not real life. I
Mm-hmm.
like doing. I like watching all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Kung
yeah.
Pao about top tier comedy, by the way.
The Ip Man series is one of my favorites. I
Fire,
love Donnie
fire.
Yen.
Mm-hmm.
That yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Donnie Yen is one of my favorites.
Shouts out to the guy that played Scorpion and did Shogun and did like he was in
Oh
everything
yeah,
everywhere. No,
mm,
yeah,
the
everything everywhere all at once, and not Bullet Train. That's not the one I was. Wait, he was in Bullet Train, I think, but
he's in Bullet Train.
either way.
He's in Shogun and Bullet Train. The dude that's in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh,
That's Ouroboros.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's short round.
Yeah,
Short round.
short round
Okay.
Ouroboros.
Uh huh.
I
Mm-hmm.
dog. I
He was good in Loki. He did real
yes,
good in
that
Loki.
yeah. His name is Ouroboros.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
he's slowly become one of my favorite actors, and I feel bad because I just love his accent. He's a really good actor, and I love his accent.
That's racist.
The accent makes him so much better. I don't know why.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, it
Yo,
is
so
what
let
it
me ask you a
is.
question. A genuine question.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of not on the topic of any of those characters. What do you think about Aquafina?
So okay. Let's go back to. You want my take on Aquafina then, or Aquafina now?
I don't know the difference.
The mm,
See, you
Aquafina.
know more about me.
So wait, let me see where she's from because
Let me
I
give you
if it
my genuine take on it. I believe she's from New York, right?
okay. So yeah, it makes
People
sense.
aren't used to Asians, Americanized Asians having American ass accents
Yeah, and
because
so no. Here's the thing. Because I understand that sometimes she does have that like a New York accent, but back
hmm
in like 2009 to to like 2014, it was
hmm
all black scent, and her in like fucking baby fat and shit like that. Now she just really has it's just really her New York accent, and she has
hmm
become a lot more proper just because of her status as a actor.
just where she is and her exposure.
Right. So
I only really seen her in Shang-Chi, like really paid attention because I liked that movie and I seen her a few times and like I was like, dog, that's natural. Like
so
that's natural, you
the
know.
the 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 shit that they talk about is you remember Krayshawn,
The blue faced girlfriend
the
or the
Gucci
rapper.
yes, she was like associated with them. That's why she gets such a bad rap.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. I thought they was just talking about her accent. I was like, man, bro, like you kind of do know these people. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah,
evolution on their end.
right. Is
They
yeah.
get American accents. You was born here.
And I think part of it is uh, it may not be her, but a lot of Eastern Asian people learn English from like rap music
Where's she
and
from?
like movies.
What's her heritage?
She's Vietnamese, and so
It's too many Vietnamese people in Wichita for me to know exactly what goes on there. First of all,
yeah,
I mean that's just what it is, man. I was like, man, you gotta. I don't like people coming for people. Like you just really gotta walk in a mile into somebody's shoes. And I don't have no sympathy for nobody really. But if I ain't there, just I just don't like speak on it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But you know, it is what it is. Anyways, back to the actual movies. What's some of the things that? Matter of fact, let's go here. What's your favorite comedy?
What is my favorite comedy? Did I write anything down? Oh, I have the Friday series down for that, and then
Man,
uh under my animated, I have Bebe's Kids because I ran that brother. I ran that tape into the
boy,
ground.
boy, we
Ran it
still
into
watch
the
it. My
ground.
kids watch Bebe's Kids because me and my
It's
good like we'll put it on. Like we don't, it's on in our house because we be like just put on Bebe's Kids. All right, pass the
right.
time. Fold clothes, do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Man, my kids don't know what to do when Bebe's Kids come on, man.
Hey, that is. I don't know what
We
it.
watched it in 2025. That is my stuff.
Hey, brother, I don't know what it was about that movie, but it was
Mhm.
on.
Oh,
On.
Robin Harris. That's what it was, man. Look at that was when the house party was coming up. Rest in peace, by the way. Like the house party. Uh, I forgot what it was. He was doing a lot of like good stand ups and stuff. He was hot before he passed, man. And yeah, my favorite animated is Fritz the Cat. A lot of people might not know about Fritz the
Yeah,
Cat.
yeah, a lot of younger people, but
That's
I know about
the
Fritz.
look the car outside of movies and hip hop creatively is cartoons. Like that's my big three: movies, hip hop,
So
and cartoons is like my bread and butter as far as
when it
like
comes to
man,
animated movies, DC animated movies will reign supreme in my life
fire.
over
Mm-hmm.
anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I
DC animated is I wouldn't say it's underrated because those who know,
yeah, they
but
just
people will put that against MCU stuff and be like,
who
yo,
it
just
is
like
whoever does not like whoever you have no taste in anything. I don't
none,
know that
none.
DC animated makes some of the greatest fucking movies,
Mm-hmm.
animated movies and sequences ever.
I just be wanting them to adapt some of those in the movies, like, cause DC movies, like live
So
action movies, be weak as hell to me. Like,
here's the problem when and I love like superhero movies and stuff, but you get
me too.
like you first of all you get like
Burnt
the
out though.
superhero lag, and then there's the problem with adapting full comics to a movie. The you have comics over here that some of them they come out an issue a month or an issue a week
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
stuff, and so it plays over a long period of time, and
Right.
there's uh other stories that are a part of this, like take like right now, um you have One Nation Under Doom. That's a whole comic book. That's a whole comic
Under who?
series. One Nation Under Doom. Doctor Doom.
Doom. Okay. Hmm.
So that is
All
one
right.
entire comic series. And then it like branches out because there's a whole Spider-Man line for the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man. There's a whole line for the Fantastic Four. There's all these different lines. An Avengers one. There's all these different lines, and so in order to do these, you have to start introducing these characters.
Right.
All
Right.
these side and other characters and stuff, and in order to do that, you gotta make more movies for them. Nobody wants to
Mm.
see these side characters' movies.
That's
And
the thing. You really don't.
right,
Like, you know how much a flashback can cover in a
right,
matter of seconds?
and that's how they lose so much fucking money. If
Hmm.
you could cut, if you could cut all these side projects out and just have them be like small pieces in the movie, then it'd be
Hmm.
fine. And then you put out like the main Avengers and stuff. You put out the stories for them. You could do their whole series and stuff, and make a movie out of those, and then do the Avengers movies. The problem is the stagnant piece in between there. You get stagnant pieces in between there, and they go and they try to fill it in instead of putting those little filler pieces in the movies. They go and they try
Hmm.
to make series, TV series, and they make a fucking Madam Web movie, and they like shit that doesn't.
I think that was just more contractual stuff with Sony because they just wanted to keep something alive. They just kept failing and failing.
Yeah,
They exhausted that. I'm glad they finally pulled the plug on
yeah,
everything.
they tried so
'Cause,
hard with that Sinister
mm-mm.
Six shit, and by the end, the only thing that
Mm-mm.
worked was and barely Venom barely worked. Venom bare that one.
They were very lucky to get 3 movies out of Venom. What's up, baby? I'm filming a podcast. What are you doing? Just came to see where you were. I'll see you in a minute.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it, yeah, it's a mess.
Yeah, it's like we could do side characters and stuff and all that, but not even that I disliked WandaVision, but I didn't need it.
So
You know what I mean?
so
Well, I'll say with the exception of you got Wiccan and Agatha Harkness and
right.
all that, and that was great.
That see
But
that one is there are certain people that need those ones, and Wanda is one of those
mm,
that needs that because that one is like a specific comic book, and that is a very specific comic book that needs to happen for Wanda
mm.
to continue.
And see,
So
for me to say too much, let me say I know zilch about comic book lore because
now
didn't get to get,
one
I
that
didn't have a lot of access to a lot of comic books when I was a kid. But I still feel like what they're doing right now, there's no
now
justification for,
the one that didn't need to
you know
happen,
what I mean?
right? The
You
one
can
that
put these
didn't
stories together in a different way and stuff, but
The one that
I don't
didn't
know.
really need to happen was the fucking uh, the girl that was with
Hawkeye,
yes, that didn't need
Hawkeye,
to
and
happen.
what's her name? Echo.
Yeah, Echo didn't need to happen.
I feel like they did that for
She's
Pink Kingpin because they got
they
Daredevil and now
they
Neighborhood Spider-Man for real.
no, they did hers for because she's in a thing with the new Avengers, which is like Wiccan, the fucking Hulkling, or yeah, I think it's Hulkling. No, Scar, the one that showed up at the end of She-Hulk. They didn't need to do She-Hulk, but she has a
See
big
what I
role in
mean?
Secret
And it
Wars.
wasn't even like I said. I enjoy most of the stuff, but like when you stick to that big main Avenger story that they're still trying to drag out instead of bring something else through Marvel, I get confused as to what they're doing because I know enough to know that I don't need all that.
Because here's the thing, and I was I was looking at this earlier today. Uh, Somebody posted uh, the 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 comics that the new Avengers Doomsday is pulling from, and this is why
Uh-huh.
I say, fucking that movie pulls from like 75 different comics.
And that's too much, though.
Thank you.
That's too much. We're gonna have to do an MCU episode.
We will.
I don't know why I keep just. I'm
Mm.
fidgeting. Sorry.
Oh yeah,
Uh, we gonna have to do an MCU and comic book movie episode
we will. And
because
I'll get into
that's
it.
so much to unpack at a time that boy.
And
Yeah, we can go
I
for days.
like comic. I like timelines, and I can walk y'all
Mhm.
through it. Uh,
Yep.
Favorite
Yep.
horror? What's your favorite horror movie? You already know mine.
The Ring. If you can, is that a horror movie?
Yes, yeah, The Ring is a
Okay. Okay. Okay.
with because there's a Japanese version and the English version.
I was scared enough of the English version that I didn't
Okay.
need the Japanese
Yeah,
version. I ain't even worried about it,
don't.
dog.
Yeah, do yourself a favor and don't even.
That's like that's like the other version of The Grudge.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see the American version. I don't watch. I don't really watch horror movies. Sometimes, like sometimes they come on. First off, I love Candyman. Second off, I have
Let
a
me
thing about Freddy Krueger because he scared me the most when I was a kid. But I love suspense movies,
Yes.
and The Ring had all of that. Put it together. This is what's going on, type of thing, and then you actually found out about what's happening and how people is dying like that. So I really like The Rings. Scream is probably my favorite slasher though. Scream just
I
in the time. I think I think they did a good job with Scream.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Insidious
It was so Scream. I
is the
don't
one I
think
want to
Scream
watch.
was never. I don't think. I think Scream was supposed to be campy as it was,
Hmm.
which worked to
Hmm.
their advantage.
Very well, right?
Yeah, it worked to their advantage. So I'm not mad at that. And
Can I
they,
say that Scream, being one of my favorite movies, has a lot. Scary movies has a lot to do with the actual scary movie.
I think that is a lot of people's first foray.
Nah,
for
I watched Scream before I saw Scary Movie. Like I saw Scream early when it first came out because my uncle was living with us on my mama's side, and he wanted to watch it, and we all sat and watched it with him. And I was scared, but when I grew up, I was like, "Hey, this is kind of fire," you know. So,
I
Scream was kind of
I
cool to
think
me.
I think because of Scream, that is where I get my love for like B-rate horror movies.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Yup.
yeah, I'm a sucker for B-rate horror movies. Cabin in the Woods. Yeah.
You know what I like is the '80s Fright Night. I don't know if that's B-rate, but that's my stuff too.
Yeah.
Uh, I only seen it once, but yeah,
You ever watch trauma movies?
what's that?
So trauma is like like back in the 80s, they like were known for like giving like smaller directors a shot. So like all of their movies are like weird like horror slash comedies. And like so like the Toxic Avenger, I don't know, yeah, that
I've
is a
heard of
trauma movie.
Avenger.
So like
Okay, like
yeah,
the Blob,
yes, like so
Eraserhead.
um let me find
I,
it.
I don't know. I think that director had a pretty good run afterwards, but I don't. That was a very obscure movie that I watched a small part of.
Yeah.
I can't remember the dude's name, but he got
No,
pretty
yeah,
famous after that.
Lloyd Kaufman is yeah, so he did like the Toxic Avenger and Class of Nukem High. They're like low
Okay.
budget, but they're known for their practical effects, and there's silly practical effects and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
it's like
Mhm.
those old teeny bopper slashers slash comedy stuff. So I got into
Mhm.
old stuff like that, and then suspense movies, a lot of body horror, uh, just because of the effects it takes to do stuff
Yeah.
like that.
When I was going to school, people was watching a newer movie kind of like that. I know you probably. I'm sure you've heard of the Human Centipede.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never watched that shit. That
And
shit was terrible. That just I don't know who would come.
they
That's
got
probably like the grossest thing I'd have never.
the Green Inferno. There's a lot of
Another one kind of like that that I just
there's
I
a
don't
lot
know.
of
Some things
borderline.
get pretty far out there, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of borderline stuff films out there that
Mm-hmm.
just
Mm-hmm.
uh where we at? Oh, hey, let's talk about favorite actors. Because
Oh,
obviously, number one is fucking Denzel on
it's got to be
everybody's
Denzel
list.
Washington, man. If it's not Samuel L. Jackson, it's Denzel Washington.
Listen,
As far as guys our age, who
what,
else did we have?
bro?
Huh?
What black man do you know that could just walk on a set for that is based in Rome, and
And put
just
his
talk
own
with
accent in it.
and just talk with his own accent?
Denzel Washington.
You
Denzel
gotta be
Washington.
great to just let him do it.
Let me tell you. When I was a kid, I watched John Q. I was
No,
like, oh my
that
god,
was
oh, oh
that
my,
was
Malcolm X.
that right there.
Uh,
So Malcolm X was the my first time seeing him as an actor, but then
no shit.
so the homie uh had John Q on tape. We used to write, listen, ran it into the ground too. And
You
from
watched it
then
more
on,
than twice? Shit,
yeah.
boy, I choked up in my room. Let that G creep. I love the game, man. Nah, it's a few of those. It's a few movies for me. I was like, it was really good, but I'm not watching that shit
just
again.
just emotion.
Uh,
Hey,
man.
you want to talk about somebody that's just emotion, raw emotion that
Mm-hmm.
knows how to put it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it was
Uh,
like, damn, boy. Yeah, that John Q was amazing work. Just if you talk about an acting job between that and Flight,
mm-hmm.
yeah, that's yeah. That man did it all.
Yeah.
He
I,
did it
I
all.
said Donnie Yen because I'm just a hardcore. I love the action,
Mm-hmm.
the karate movies and stuff. That Ip Man
Mm-hmm.
series is it for me. Just he does all his own stunts. You see him doing all the choreography and everything and all that. So that's one of mine. You got Robin Williams and Jim Carrey.
Man, look, when I was a kid, first of all, let me just say I was very sheltered. So when it comes to kids movies, watching Robin Williams and Hook,
Bro,
that was my action movie back in the
Flubber,
day. They
Flubber.
sleep on Flubber. They sleep on Flubber, first of all.
Come on now.
Um, but you know what? He did that. Robin Williams did that 1 hour photo.
Mm-hmm.
Dog, that one was crazy. But then he flipped it. Have you ever seen a movie called House of D?
No.
So it's the dude from the X Files. You know, he's a producer. He do some it's one of his films, and he was just telling his son the story about how he got to France from America, and Robin Williams played his friend that was like he was they call him retarded, scientifically saying at that
Mm-hmm.
time that's what he was,
We know.
and You know, I got to be PC about it. Um, but they had a relationship, and he was telling his son about it. And then they went back to America from France after like 20 years. They went and found him, but everything in between, straight just drama. It was crazy. If you ever get the chance, if you feel like you just need to watch something, maybe sad or whatever, whenever you, I don't never watch that. I don't like sad movies, but that one, whoa, House of D is Erica Badu is in it.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
she she plays a prisoner, and she talks to the dude that had to move to France. I won't tell you why he had to move or why he got out of there, but whoa, let me tell you, dog, that stuff was crazy. Damn, we already been going for a pretty good minute.
Mm-hmm. 47.
But yeah, and Jim Carrey,
I also
he's
forgot to
responsible.
push record, so I'm gonna have to download it from Twitch.
Oh, at least we got it downloaded. And we still not.
Yeah.
I'll be doing that too. So, well, clearly because I had to upload them ones from
Oh,
Sundays.
brother, I fucking sat here until 11 o'clock last night recording, and I finally got this boss done, and then
You wasn't on when I.
I went to go. No, I got off at 6, and then I was
Oh, okay.
recording afterwards.
Okay.
And then I went to go edit this morning, and I looked through all my video, and the one boss fight was not there.
Well, when I talk about trial and error, boy, just leaving room for it is just a great idea, ain't it?
Yeah.
Just imagine if it was other stresses going on that we had. Mm, no, because that kind of stuff is gonna happen with
Yeah. It
this whole
happens.
thing, man.
Yeah.
And so,
The shit happens all the time. I'm not too
yeah,
worried about it. But
damn,
yeah,
yeah,
Robin Williams, Jimmy Boy, Jim Carrey.
man. Ace Ventura. When Ace Ventura changed my whole perspective on sense of humor and my idea of what was funny. And I got on When Nature Calls more than Pet Detective because I was a little bit older when Nature Calls came out, and had friends that was watching the movie. My mama really couldn't say shit at that point in time.
Mm-hmm.
So Bumblebee Tuna. That was my stuff. Yeah, that was like, man, I didn't know a motherfucker could be that funny, or a
First
movie
look.
could be that funny. You know, Jim
Uh,
Carrey was that one.
you talk about the Ace Ventura movies. My first journey into Jim Carrey was the Cable Guy. Boy,
Did you say friend?
did you, don't you want somebody to
you, you
love?
thought it was over at the end. He called up and found him another
Yeah, boy, you want to talk about
one.
some shit? I
Hey, he was wild in that movie. That he was pretty wild in Liar Liar too. I feel like I'm
yes.
yelling. Uh, yeah, Jim Carrey
No,
is
you're fine because I got you turned
gold.
down.
Okay. Yeah, Jim Carrey is goaded though.
Obviously Chadwick Boseman, R.I.P.
Man, he did so much in such a little time though, because like we
Right,
didn't even really grow up watching Chadwick Boseman, but
right.
that man played James Brown, the Black Panther, Jackie Robinson, and a Tuskegee Airman, all within a span of 10 years. I feel like
Right.
you better give that man his
No
flowers.
one does it better. I also need to give Kiki Palmer her flowers because we done grew
Give
up with her.
her flowers.
First,
Akilah and the Bee is one of them ones that's engraved.
yeah,
She just, yeah, she was all over the place, man.
yeah, she,
And shouts out to her now, because that's a woman that lived doing Kiki whatever it
yeah,
don't matter.
and
Yep.
I watched that her new movie with SZA earlier today, and
Was it good?
it has very, it is very black. It has all the tones of a black movie. It is a 7 out of 10 for us. For actual people, it'd probably be like a 4 out of 10 because half of the references they would not get. It's very, it's very
Damn.
Friday esque.
Okay. Oh, you
Very,
hear Ice Cube got
very, yeah.
greenlit
It's
for last Friday, right?
uh-huh. It's very, very
Hmm.
Friday esque.
Okay. I'm messing with it. I'm messing with it. Definitely figure that one
We,
out.
uh, I guess I done went 51 minutes and 45 seconds without talking about him.
What's that?
Tyler Perry.
My body don't shimmer when I take my shirt off. I don't know who Tyler Perry is. Let me just say, no, I didn't get on when the plays was coming out because once again I was sheltered and that just
So
wasn't even in my line of sight when I was a kid. Huh.
here's the thing. I will say this: Tyler Perry has given opportunities like no other to the black community.
As long as you're
With
willing to
that
take
being
them.
said, are they all good opportunities? Could they further your career? Probably not.
I'm gonna
Are
just
you?
say Mr. Chocolate is derivative from somewhere.
Yeah.
You know who Mr. Chocolate is, don't you? From Atlanta, that
Oh
Tyler
yeah,
Perry
yeah,
episode.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yup,
yeah.
yup.
That's yeah. While
So
he has given opportunities to to the community as a whole, uh,
look,
bad wigs is
I
in the
don't,
contract.
I don't, I think for me as a millennial, I'll just say millennial shit. I'm tired of seeing the same black stories. Even if you do bring it to 2025 and no, and slavery is not a thing,
Right.
it's still a man beating down a woman, and her and
Yeah,
like it's only two type of men in Tyler Perry movies.
like
Let me just put it that way.
yeah, that's
It's
that
only two
is
type of women in Tyler Perry movies.
that's what I want for black cinema. I want us to get away from the shitty fucking tropes of we are all thugging or we are slaves or I want niggas that swinging swords. I want knight in sharp. I want Black Knight, brother. That's what I want. I want
Basically,
niggas. I want niggas hoisting javelins. Can we just get that? I
why
want
we got to place javelins?
to fucking like on the horse to where you gotta do with the big javelin.
No, because then I feel like any white person on that movie would be subject to disrespect that black man the same way. I'd be suspicious the whole time.
we can't even get into horseback riding.
I like horseback riding. I don't need no
Yeah,
big old
yeah.
stick to try to put.
You
You
know
know what?
they do that in the castles.
You know what? I kind of like appreciate seeing this. I like history movies that aren't Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. And I haven't seen the movie yet,
I
but the
like
story of Chevalier.
uh
Have you heard about that one?
uh.
So it's the French composer and fencer that was basically just going in. I think he mentored Beethoven,
Well,
and like real story, Beethoven's technically
mm,
supposed to be black, you know,
yeah,
but
we done seen.
it was he was probably for real the Chevalier. But you should check that out. I think it's on Hulu. It came out, but that's one that it really piqued my interest just because even if it was set in historical times, it was more so of a Django movie than it was a Roots movie. And
Just speaking of
like
roots,
how many different
did your
12 Years a
family
Slave,
did your family make
Selma,
you watch it?
huh?
Did your family make you watch Roots? My fucking great
My mama
grandma.
got it on DVD, and I ain't never turned. I'll tell you, dog. When I tell you I was
My
sheltered,
my
Disney movies.
my great grandma made me watch it.
she
Angela Bassett. Listen,
she was in
I
that movie.
no, I'm just talking about my favorite actor,
Oh,
Angela Bassett. Listen, Black Witches. That's that's the whole thing. Why can't we have Black Witches? A whole coven. She
Agatha
just
did a
leading.
pretty good idea, good with diversity. Not just picking one race out of all of them, but the black girl seemed like a black witch to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd be into that. Like the new what's that boy name? Michael B. Jordan movie.
Mm-hmm.
I
But
think that one will be decent, but it's still kind of setting them times where
yeah, it's
somebody gonna
still
come around the corner and call you boy.
yeah, yep.
And that's what I'm tired of, man.
And yeah, Everett, shout out to him. He was like, yeah, I'm not going to see it because I'm trying to get away from that. Like I'm trying to get away from that type of movie, and he's absolutely right.
No, for real, because I can't. I like I said, I was naming off some of those movies: 12 Years a Slave, The Butler,
Selma, The
Selma,
Help, all of them.
Teal, or Emmett, whichever one they called it. I don't want to keep reliving this shit.
Right.
You know, Queen
Uh,
and Slim was a good one, but it was still about the same premise. You know,
Same shit. It's
and
yeah.
I mean, I heard it's a movie called The Photograph that's supposed to be pretty good. Shouts out to what's that boy's name?
Talking about Troy.
Mm-mm.
Speaking of Troy,
I'm talking
shout out
about
to Troy because he got two movies out. Him
Troy.
and Troy Andrews.
Oh yeah, I was in one of them. Shouts out to Troy.
You was in one.
I was in the seeds for about a quarter of a second.
See, that's why I didn't see you. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hang out with
I like
Mercedes.
to try to link and do like a bigger part, and I actually reached out to him recently.
He
But
got
I also
one.
I kind of want to put some of my artwork in some of his scenes more than anything.
Talk to him.
So I mean, but that just comes into I'll never be ready, but I want to be more ready. You know what I mean? Like if
Mm-hmm.
he say, "Yeah, let me get something like this in 2 days," I kind of want to be able to provide something like that. So, and that's for anybody, not necessarily just that individual. But yeah, cats out here making movies, and that's big because just seeing black people open up avenues for just ourselves, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and not having to make $1 million off of it, or not saying that I need this or I need that and none of that. You're getting it done.
Right.
And yeah, so big shouts out to him and Devin Bray. We got two like professional, pretty much movie makers out here pushing out movies like crazy. So yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
yeah, brother.
Mhm.
And with that, we got a shout
We
out.
like
We had an hour.
shouts out. Man, that's crazy.
Tell them where they can
Shouts
find you.
out first to the support system, of course, as always. Shouts out to me for loving myself and stepping out them margins.
Hell yeah.
Shouts out to you just for being,
Thank you.
and shouts out to my family for keeping me motivated.
Yeah. Shout out to you,
Yo,
brother. Shout out getting shit done over there. You got
man,
your
oh, I still got to get to these garden beds that I got to finish, but I'm checking off boxes, man.
speaking
I'm
of
getting
garden
shit
beds.
done.
Yeah, speaking of
Huh?
garden beds, I need to get all this shit done with this house so I can get the fuck out of here
Mm,
and get to this new house and start that. That'll
you got it.
yeah.
You got it.
So all
So,
right.
yeah, let's keep getting it done, man. We gonna be off in here.
Yeah.
We out here.
Later.